Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Todd Coons, and it's been a while since I've been in the studio, but we're back in the studio doing a shot that I have wanted to do for a while, because if you watch my channel, you know I do this. Whenever I buy myself something, I will often take that item and do a photograph of it for my portfolio, for this channel, for just to do something cool in the studio. I bought myself a new pair of shoes, and I love to photograph shoes. I don't know if that makes me weird or what, but I like photographing shoes. I got a pair of shoes, boy, it's been a month, 6 weeks ago even, maybe. It's been a while. And I've been meaning to take this shot forever, and I'm finally getting around to doing it today. So I've got a little setup going in the studio. I've got a vision in my mind what I want to do. I don't want to do the standard commercial shoe shot. I want to do something a little more artistic, not black and white necessarily, because when you see these shoes, they need to be in color. But I want to do some like a muted color and something a little more artistic with the lighting. So I've got the Fuji X-T4. I've got a adapter and an old 1970s Canon 55mm 1.2 lens. We're going to try to shoot this thing at 1.2, so the depth of field is like incredibly shallow. Probably get that, you know, a little softer look with a lens like this. I don't know that it'll be as sharp as a modern Fuji lens. So do something a little more artistic with it and have some fun in the studio today. Now, of course, part of product photography is I've been working on this thing for so long. Here's my notes, things I wanted to do. But as you can see, they need to be shot in color. And I need to get the strings going the right direction. I got to get tags off of it, obviously. And we're going to do something cool here. Let me show you my initial setup. Like I said, where are we at here? Fuji X-T4, old Canon FL 55mm 1.2 lens. I am now tethered to the computer because, to be honest with you, that is the best way to shoot in the studio. You can do it without being tethered, obviously, but being tethered is such, you know, an advantage. I've moved the boards around a little bit, and I don't know that I love the way the shoes are there. They're just kind of there as an initial setup. There's a lot of light coming through that window. I was thinking maybe I'd put a light back there myself and take care of that, but there's so much coming through there, I might not need to do that. And if I want to shoot at 1.2, I'm just not going to be able to control it with the amount of sunlight coming through there. But let me show you on the screen what I've got going here. Okay, there's the initial shot. So I'm liking it. I like where it's going. It's I think it's post-processing is going to make this thing kind of jump out and be really cool. But I'm going to do some tweaks. I'm going to move some things around, play with it for a few minutes, get the shoes the way I like them, get the laces the way I like them, and I think we're close. This is a pretty simple shot. The lighting is relatively simple, just a softbox. That's all I got going right now. And at 1.2, I've got a Godox AD100 in there. And at the moment, it's at 1/32 power. So there's not a lot coming out of there to give me f1.2. So do some tweaks and make this thing happen. Okay, my experience, and if you shoot product photography, you'll probably understand what I'm talking about. I can sit here and move those around and tweak them until, you know, I can beat it into the ground trying to get the perfect setup. And I was sitting there tweaking them and moving them and arranging them. And finally, I think I just happened to fall into place where I like the way they're sitting. Let me show you. Yeah, see, I really like the way they're sitting now. So I think that was one of the big challenges. think I got that. Now we're just going to perfect the lighting. Now based on the last shot, I think my light is a little too powerful. So we're going to bring that guy down to 1/64th power plus a third. Let's try that. Okay, yeah, I'm liking that exposure a whole lot better. All right, that's pretty cool. I'm going to take a couple more, make sure that the shoestrings are going in the way I want them. Play with the light maybe just a little bit. Now guys, watch this. I want to show you something. The last couple of days we've had a snowstorm come through, and it's cold, it's very dry, and the heater is blowing quite a bit the last 36 hours or so, drying everything out. Now, I've not had this problem in South Carolina near like I used to have it in Colorado, but watch what happens every time I touch, and I don't know if this will go on the video or not, but as soon as I touch something metal, it fires the strobe, static electricity. So, a bit of an issue today. Okay, now I don't know if you guys have ever shot with, oh, there it goes again. I don't know if you've ever shot with an adapter and an old lens, but I really like the ability to do that. The neat thing about it is, number one, you can buy these cheap old lenses, you know, $25, you know, easily under $100, you can get these nice vintage lenses. The adapter costs maybe 50 bucks. You know, again, it was under 100 for sure. And you get these old lenses, and some of those old lenses are just, you know, really quality, sharp. But you get these vintage lenses, and you get a look that's a little bit different because they're not, it's not that they're not sharp, they just have a different quality about them. So they are manual focus lenses, so you got to put the camera on manual focus, focus it manually, and you also have to tell the camera to shoot without a lens because it's not connecting that there is a lens there. So when I first put it on, it wasn't working and I thought there was a problem. It just needed to tell the camera, hey, there's no lens on here and you can still shoot. So once you get it all set up, it works really well. I would manually focus in the studio anyway when I do this product stuff. So having to focus manually is not a big deal. I'm going to move this light ever so slightly and shoot another one. Okay, I did one little more tweak. I moved those top laces, and let me show you why I did that. Because even though I'm trying to get artsy, I'm a product photographer at heart. So if you notice, you can see the Adidas logo right there, where if I go back a couple, you couldn't see it all that great. So now you can see it. Still looks like it's just kind of nonchalant there. I might play with it just a little bit more, but I moved it so that you could see the logo. Thinking I'm liking that. All right, guys, there you have it. All I really did was tweak it a little bit in Lightroom, brought it into Photoshop, did a second layer, made that layer black and white, and then reduced the opacity on it. Now I'll probably go in and tweak that a little bit more to really fine-tune the way I like it, to get that kind of muted, soft color look. But man, that shot was almost easier than I thought it would be. So just recap, Fuji X-T4, old vintage Canon lens, probably from the early 70s, a 55 1.2. One softbox with a grid on it, Godox AD100. I'm down at like a 64th power just to come down to f1.2. I'm at the shutter speed 1/25th of a second, which has nothing to do with the flash, but there's enough light in this room that 1/25th kind of combined with what ambient light is here. You know, this window in the background and stuff obviously is ambient light. So 1/25th of a second is where I'm at, 160 ISO. And that's a pretty simple little shot. Even easier than what I thought it was going to be, because I don't normally light things this simple and kind of like this, but I don't know. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. I would appreciate that. I thank you guys for watching as always. If you haven't subscribed, think about subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate that. And one of my goals this year, even though I'm as busy as ever with my full-time job, I want to get on here and do more stuff. And so leave me a comment if there's things you'd like to see or got questions, things like that. One of the things I want to talk about is that studio stand. I get a lot of questions about that. So we're going to do a video here in a week or so, just talking about where I got that stand and what it is and what it does. So as always, you guys have a great day. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.